to US Trews. We're going to be looking at Bill O'Reilly.
Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight.
I think today he's talking about immigration.
Tonight, Talking Points memo, how the left wants to handle tens of thousands of children illegally entering the USA.
Right then, Bill. We're on Earth with a limited amount of time. One thing we know for certain is human beings are basically the same at a cellular level. So, what are you offering, Bill?
Today, the New York Times, a liberal standard bearer in this country, ran an editorial entitled Innocence at the Border. Basically, the Times saying that the Obama administration should provide massive humanitarian aid for about 50,000 children who have illegally entered the USA since last fall, and the hundreds more who come every single day. Times admits the Obama administration caught by surprise.
Caught by surprise!
By the border surge, but describes the children and some of their parents as refugees.
It's hard because, like, so far you just go, that's right, Bill. Yes. But you can tell from how Bill's talking that he don't mean this. Oh, Bill, you've got all reasonable. Children fleeing their homes. Bill, why are you saying this in a vocal font known as sarcasmo?
Liberal America trying to convince us that poor people in Central America, Mexico, and everywhere else are fleeing economic oppression, therefore they are refugees.
Oh, refugees. A refugee, right, I've looked at a dictionary because I was worried about it. A refugee is a person who is outside their country because they've suffered. Excuse me? Yes? Are you from here? No, I've had to come outside my country. Why? For a laugh or something? Was it? No, because I've suffered. Get away from me. If that doesn't elicit compassion, what will? A person who's outside their country because they've suffered. You know, on that Statue of Liberty that people like him are well into, it says, bring me your huddled masses. Not you! You fuck off! But I'm huddled! There's loads of us! Don't take things so literally!
Therefore, we have to accept them, pretty much support them for years, and allow them to stream across the border at will. The left points out this is humane and Christian.
They're good things. Humane, well, we're humans, we should be humane. Christian, Jesus, he was ever so nice. All he wanted to do was help people all day long, hang out. And Jesus, who I bet Bill's Christian, I bet he is. Jesus, like, all he wants to do is help poor people, sex workers, all of the disenfranchised. That's the duty of people. That's just the duty. We'll feel better, Bill. You'll feel better if you live by those values. You won't feel better like, what do you, Bill thinks? Good! No immigrants have been allowed in. Now I can sleep.
But the harsh reality is we cannot support all the world's poor. It's impossible.
It is possible. We make decisions all the time not to do things like that. Like, I'll explain quite quickly how it's possible. You know how, like, 85 people have got as much wealth as 3.5 billion people? Well, you could just take some of that and give that to those. You wouldn't even have to take all of it. Not like have everyone poor. They could still be by far and away the richest, but you could feed all the poor. So that's the first thing that Bill said that's completely untrue. It is possible. It's a decision not to.
For years, some on the left have wanted open borders like they have in Europe.
We've got no issues with immigration in Europe. Never gets mentioned.
But the massive welfare state that goes along with supporting poor migrants would break this nation financially. We already owe more than $17 trillion.
If you owe $17 trillion, money don't make sense no more, does it? That's after all of that quantitative easing, the bank bailouts, there's the same corporate, industrial, capitalist mentality of companies like Fox News. They spent trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions and trillions on that stuff. Once you start talking about numbers like trillions, the system's broke. And like, so stop worrying about it. Stop worrying, like, it don't matter anymore. We might as well help everybody.
Look, most of these kids and their parents can't speak English, have little education, and few skills. How are they going to compete in our competitive marketplace here? How? The answer is they're not going to compete.
He didn't leave very long, did he, for that rhetorical question? How? How? They're not going to. It's not going to happen at all. I've lived in Los Angeles. Mexican people are doing all of the work, or at least Central American people. They're fixing everything, they're doing all the gardening, actual stuff that matters. They might not be doing stuff like making pretend films about pretend things or making pretend financial transactions with pretend abstract money, apparently $17 trillion of which is fucking somewhere else. They're not doing that. Do you know, I heard that without immigrant labour, food in America would cost 4 to 5 times as much, because the cheap labour provided by immigrants is making food affordable. So, Bill, your whole economic argument is rubbish and based on bigotry.
And it will take decades for most of them to be self-sufficient.
I don't understand that either. That's just people, isn't it? I mean, like, all people take decades. Look at this Mexican, it's just shed its diaper. Oh, it wants to suck its mummy's titty. What's wrong with it? No, now it can't, it's learning to read, look. Now, I think what you're describing, Bill, is people growing up over time.
So we are creating an underclass of people totally dependent on American taxpayers who are already under siege from every direction.
It's not a siege. It's not a siege. He sort of routinely uses bellicose language, the language of war, for him. It's like his normal language, isn't it? Like anything that's compassion, he sees as weakness. Anything that's tolerance, he seems as sort of odd and leftist and hippie.
The immigration crisis could very well damage the entire infrastructure of America.
Infrastructure of that country is fucked anyway. If you ever tried hurting yourself there, it costs a fortune. No one will go, oh yeah, we'll just do that up because you're our fellow man. It's all gone. The infrastructure don't benefit ordinary people anyway.
There's no question about it.
There is a question about it, Bill. There's a big question. There's massive questions, Bill, that you're not considering. Our economic structure is failing anyway. Ideas such as nation are dubious and outmoded. Common ideas about human interconnection need to be explored now.
Now, because I just laid that all out for you, I'm going to be attacked by the left. I will be called all kinds of names. I hate the poor. I'm the devil. Whatever.
He isn't actually the devil, but he does represent the values that the devil is created to represent. The devil is an animalised human, isn't he? The horns, the hooves, all that. That's to suggest that an aspect of humanity is animalism. And what are the animalistic components of human nature? Greed, selfishness, aggression.
But I'm telling you the truth. In our Judeo-Christian tradition, we are compelled to help the poor. We are. But we cannot destroy the fabric of the nation.
When something's not working, why would you go further in that direction? It's like a drug addict. It's like when you're on drugs, you think, oh no, the drugs aren't working, I better take some more drugs. It takes ages to realise, just stop taking these drugs, it doesn't work. The same is true of an ideology like border control or capitalism. It's defunct. It served a purpose, the concept of nation. It was useful for a while for people to have these kind of affiliations. Let's believe in the concept of America. What is it? Well, we'll just say that this landmass has got a name and all of us lot live in it. Okay, is it going to be beneficial? Hugely. Right, it's not beneficial anymore, it's causing nothing but problems. Well, we'll keep doing it. All them bits on that southern border are called things like California, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, Nevada. Them words sound Spanish, don't they? A little bit. They are. It's because that country was originally Native America, they probably didn't even give it a name. Then the Spanish conquistadors took it over. Then it was Mexico. Then about 150 years ago, America nicked it in some dubious deal. As they are fond of saying, the old Mexican people, that we didn't cross the line crossed us. Can't just move lines around all over the place and then start charging people for it. It's absolutely absurd. Country's an abstract concept, beneficial only to corporate entities. It's only for trade reasons that there's even such a thing as the United States of America anymore. Trade and military or industrial complex reasons. So if it's unhelpful, stop doing it. Not just because of Mexican immigrant children, but because of ordinary American people, because of everyone.
Granting refugee status to everyone who wants it. There are simply too many in this world who are oppressed.
Should we do something about that? No. It's so weird because he gets really close to addressing actual problems and he pulls back and goes, so I'm going to carry on saying the sort of stuff I've always said.
Now, reaction with us in the studio, Monica Crowley, and from Washington, Kirsten Powers. And you say, Powers?
I would say every child that comes into this country, we should take care of.
Everyone in the world.
That's what I would say.
All the Chinese.
They're not.
The Chinese aren't coming. America owe that $17 trillion to the Chinese. They might come. We have our $17 trillion now. When they come to America, it won't be to ask for food. It'll say, we're in fucking charge now, lads. You should have been compassionate when you had the chance.
Really, all the Chinese are going to come to the United States, Bill?
If they
children
could, they
by
would.
themselves?
If they could, they would. They hate China. Have you tried those noodles? Have you watched that TV? A bunch of Chinese guys saying Chinese stuff. They don't have a me in China. And if they did, it'd be a yellow me with narrower eyes and narrower opinions. They hate China, and they hate China too. They want to live inside of me. They won't rest until they have become me. These 50,000 children and the Chinese, they're all going to come and want to live inside Bill O'Reilly.
But they can't. We're talking about
If you were president,
the
they would.
But you cannot. Oh, really? How would they? Would they fly over here?
No,
I mean,
they'll take a little boat, Kirsten.
They'll take a little boat. The Chinese are going to get on a little boat. They're going to come here and they're going to take our jobs. A little boat? Why would they choose that? That's a really dangerous method. A cargo ship to travel from China to America takes 11 days. Little boat. Take ages, they'd be able to make it. I feel all the food they've got to bring for the journey. Bill, you've not thought your racism through. Bill, you're not qualified to do this job. You're not even an efficient racist anymore.
So you want every kid in the world who comes here, you think America should take care of. Yes, you did.
I said the children that come across the border.
Am I wrong?
Sure.
Did she just say that? Wait, Kirsten. Let's let Monica jump in.
Into this country, we should take care of.
Did she not say that every child he shows up here, we should take care of?
He's got his own evil version of Blonde Woman that he's got in the studio. Yes, Bill, she didn't say that.
What I heard you say, Kirsten, was that if there's a child in distress somewhere in the world, that we should accept them with open arms.
Why did I say with incredulity things that sound really normal? You said that if there's a child in the world in distress, we should welcome him with open arms. Yeah, no, that does sound weird.
But we are supposed to be a nation of laws, not a nation of anarchy and chaos. The United States is supposed to be a sovereign nation. We're not supposed to be a dumping ground, and we're also not supposed to be an international daycare center.
I remember this mood, being spoken to like this all my life by people like that, going, yeah, I know you think that. I'm sure you've got the best intentions. Don't they? They patronise us just because we don't agree with their mad way of looking at the world. Yeah, that's very good. If we've had your opinion about kindness or whatever it is you're into, we're going to have to go back now to doing the thing that we already do. The thing they're doing ain't working. It's nuts, their thing's all crumbling industry, melting infrastructure, war in the Middle East, polluted toxic food, polluted toxic planet. We've got it under control. It's fine. You poor fucking idiots, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Let us take over before it's too late.
Those children are coming here for a reason. These are children who are coming to this country because, no, they're fleeing violence.
Well, wait a minute. No, this just didn't come out of thin air. This is a direct result of what this administration has done in creating this environment where these people are seemingly coming out of nowhere with these kids.
If your first thought is an abstract one of, hold on, where are they from, those children? What language do they speak? Then you've not got the right sort of thoughts in your mind. You've forgotten your true nature.
Truth is, the Obama administration has not a clue about what to do on the southern border. Last week it announced it will speed up deportations, but that's not the answer. The answer is securing the southern border once and for all, and to do that you have to militarize it by putting the National Guard down there. Talking Points has been saying that for nearly 20 years.
Of course you've got military. Thank you, Bill. That's what I was thinking. We need a solution. Doesn't make things worse. What do we know the Americans are very good at that don't make things worse? Let's just think of recent last 10 years or so. Is there anything we've done that's definitely not made things worse? Yes, military stuff. We go a place, we get loads of young fellas and that with guns, we blow shit up. It always makes it better.
But there's no way on this earth President Obama's ever going to do that. So the problem simply cannot be solved while he remains in office.
Well, thanks, Bill. You've made me feel a little bit worse about being a human being. That's what I think he's meant to do, isn't it? You sort of watch it and go, oh. I would say that we've got to try and inundate Bill O'Reilly with such love that it makes him go a bit mad. Bill, until you resolve your inner issues, you will always be troubled by something. You'll always be worried by something. It's not the borders at the bottom of America. It's the borders that are in your consciousness. Imaginary borders, Bill, that can be overcome with love and compassion and reflection, and with the realisation that not only is your identity as an American a meaningless construction, your identity as Bill O'Reilly is a meaningless construction. Yes, my identity as Russell Brand is exactly equally as meaningless. The only things that have any value are the universal, unifying ideas of oneness and togetherness. The more we focus on distinction and war, Bill, the worse the world will get. So you'll never be happy as long as you're going in that direction. If you're swimming in the wrong direction, turn around, come back home, Bill. Come back home to God. I'm not suggesting I'm God, although if he was to come back, he would probably dress in a blanket. Dun, 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 dun.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some trews. Let's have some trews.